Well, I thought this was a week that our guys just continued to get better and better, and we could see it from Sunday when we got in the film room, we got in the practice court, and they're working at a really good pace. You know, our practices have been sharp, efficient, short, but sharp and efficient. They're spending a lot of extra time in the gym, and one of the things that I'm most proud of this team, and it was the same way last year, is they have prepared with a diligence in every game. And it didn't matter if it was Carolina, Kansas, it didn't matter who it was. Obviously, they know some teams and know some players better than others, but they have come into every game locked in to the key personnel, to the key attributes of that personnel, to the key things that they want to do. Doesn't mean we've always been successful, but really, really proud of their preparation. And very, very importantly, we got better this week in the sense of our defensive pressure. Our deflections were good, but our activity was good. Our break was much better this week. You know, obviously when the ball is moving, you have 50 assists in 2 games. That's a great sign. And we're never overly, I'm never overly worried about assists because of the way we drive it and the way we play out of the post and things, and the offensive rebounding. But I thought we finished the week in a strong way against a team that we had a lot of respect for, especially with their ability offensively. And we wanted to get OG going at the beginning of the game by putting him on Robinson at the very beginning. And our plan was to rotate a couple guys, Jawan being one, and then certainly he went down. So that didn't, and he couldn't return in the game, but that didn't help us. But then I thought other guys stepped in and did a good job. So we got better inside of the game. We shot the ball extremely well, obviously, and I think it was just very indicative of how the ball was moving. And the way Rob shot it, the way James shot it, the way Josh moved it. I thought Thomas was a tremendous facilitator tonight of moving the ball. And what did OG do? OG had 7. OG had a big task defensively. And we played a lot of different guys. But when the ball is moving like that, good things are going to happen. And that's exactly how it worked for us this week.
Gary, you just talked about how Josh has, I know his role continues to change, but I mean, just how much of a facilitator he's become.
Well, he's continued to expand his game, and I think so much of it happens in speed. And he played very fast and quick tonight, and that's really important. He's moving the ball. Sometimes he'll get in the middle of the lane and there's a little too much traffic. But when he's playing out of the corners, when he's playing in the spin action, when he's driving it on the baseline, when he's driving it off the wing, I mean, good things happen when he's on the break and he's delivering it and his head was up. And I thought he played not, you know, pace is important, but speed, when you can change speed, change directions, he's doing a much better job of that. And I've said this before, I mean, we're constantly on him and working with him to build his stride and to get out and play even faster. And he did a really good job of that this week and tonight. And at the same time, you have to guard him because he's going to make threes as well. You know, he can get to the rim. We've got to continue to build this pull-up game, and he's very comfortable shooting threes.
On the don't hop sign with the bunny.
You caught that, huh?
I didn't,
Yeah.
but they
No, so
is that like indicative of a?
that's just a that was a I don't want to say millennium because I really don't know what that means. That was a new wave way of trying to get my point across, right? To don't hop defensively, you know, take steps. So I'm not sure I'll bring it out again, but it made a point. You're going to remember it when you see that. It wasn't like I brought it out before. So
Do you think it worked tonight?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just a reminder. I mean, we still fouled the kid coming down the lane a couple times, but we have a tendency. Josh has a tendency sometimes. It's the same thing with the stride. To not really step, right? He'll hop, right? And sometimes it happens on offense while it happens on defense. And we're constantly looking for that on film. We're looking for the guys that are hopping. We don't use the rabbit, but I mean, it's just a reminder. You know, I thought it was something different. You know, we've used props before. That's all it was.
You talked about Josh's growth, and he's talked about how important Rob and James have been for him. Just kind of how have those three developed? It seems like they've kind of got a strong dynamic between the three of them, maybe even dating back to last year when Josh had to sit out, but obviously was able to.
Oh, I think they get along great. Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. And they're in the gym, but I think the synergy's forming. Yeah, he doesn't have the luxury of 2+ years like Rob and James have together. But I mean, it's certainly coming, and it's certainly moving in the right direction. And I think as Devontae and Curtis get involved in that, and then we play so many other guys on the perimeter, and I think that's really, really important. I mean, when you're trying to get guys to really move and use the whole court, that stuff's really, really important. If you're just coming down and running set plays and your point makes this pass, then he cuts there. We don't do a lot of that. Sometimes we do, but so much more based off movement, and that's why that togetherness is crucial for the development, future development.
Duran's passing, I know he had 4 turnovers with 5 assists. Is that something, I know you recruited him for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Is that something he's always had? Or
Yeah, especially from the high post. And we haven't even really utilized him up there yet. Yeah, he could always pass off the high post, and he's got great feet. You know, it's just a matter of him continuing to understand, you know, we're very demanding of him, you know, building his athleticism on the court. And as you can see with his pick and roll coverage, with the quick feet, quick hands, he's got great eyes. You know, he's got very good vision, so he can see. He just sometimes plays too straight up, right? And we've got to continue to work through that. But as he gets understanding the college game, as he gets even gets in the speed condition, he's in good condition, but getting into the speed where he can really, really drive the ball off that into handoffs and things like that will even be more. I think in due time he's going to become very good at passing off the dribble. It's not there yet. Well, Cody didn't have that till his sophomore year. Not like he had it his sophomore year. Thomas is getting there. I mean, it's part of the development process. But as far as him being able to see out of the post, the elbow, the high post, he's very good there.
Was Jawan, was that more of a precautionary
No,
plan?
no, he definitely hurt his ankle tonight. He wasn't able to go back in. So I'll get an update here a little bit later. So.
I think Robert was shooting 56% coming into the game, and he has this kind of game. Just his maturity started to really show.
No question, he works extremely hard, and he's phenomenal. I mean, he shot it in the walkthrough. We don't walk through very long anymore at all on game day. And he had been in here. He'd been in here earlier in the day, but even in the walkthrough, I mean, he's just knocking everything down. I would have been shocked tonight if he didn't shoot well. But what he's doing is he's efficient. He's getting his dribble out. He's taking what's there, and whether it's 1 or 2 dribbles on the pull-up, the one pick and roll where he missed the one off the pick and roll, that was a footwork deal. You know, and I have no problem with him taking that shot, but it's just a matter of footwork. Sometimes he doesn't always get his left-right down the way it needs to be, but he's doing that more often than not, and he's very, very efficient with his dribbles. There's not a lot of wasted movement, whether it's 1 or 2. There's not a lot of herky-jerky. I mean, he doesn't just play in a straight line. You know, it's very, very hard to move forward as a player if you're just a straight line dribbler or if you're just somebody that can just change direction. You got to be able to do both, and I think he's really getting to the point where he can do both. He's getting good shots, and he's a product of very good ball movement.
All right, Coach.
Go ahead, Jeff.
As far as Newkirk goes, you mentioned several times about guys just need time to develop, understand nuances,
Sure.
things like that. Is that part of it as we see assists grow? I know you don't look hard at numbers, but where he gets the ball, where he understands guys.
Oh yeah, that's all part of it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know, I'm not looking at anything that I say, wow, you know, we've hit it. You know, we've reached a certain place. I mean, the numbers are great, but the one good thing about these guys is they go into that film room and win or lose, they know that it's going to be they're going to be things we can take out of it, right? And Josh really over the last 3 weeks or so it's a lot of it's been centered on him. It's centered on everybody. I mean, it's not like we single it out, but there's so much more that he can do, you know, in the sense of, I don't want to say speeding up his process, but making sure that the expectations of what he's capable of doing right now are there and holding him to that. But at the same time, you know, I sent him a message today that just simple, just attack and play the way you know how to play. I mean, sometimes he really overthinks it. And the other day, you know, if I'd have caught this early, I wouldn't have had him do it. He took the practice film upstairs to watch some of the new offensive things and to look at some other things, all right, to make sure that he knew where everybody was supposed to be. Well, you know what? That's great. You want that. But you also want him to just go out there and play on instinct too. And that's what we need. He was so upset with himself the other night on a turnover in the middle of the lane in the game on Monday. That's like, just relax. You know, it's okay. You know, nobody wants to turn it over, but don't beat yourself up. I mean, he just got to play with a speed mentality, and we'll figure the rest of it out. Because we're a lot better when he's playing fast.